Who are you when the spotlight turns off? If tomorrow, everything you've wrapped around yourself is stripped away, the title, the bank balance, the relationship, the applause, what remains? Are you still you? Or were you only the coat you were wearing? We spend our entire lives building identities, not selves. But roles change, scripts get rewritten. One fine morning, the company lets you go. The body ages, the crowd moves on. And when that happens, we don't just mourn a loss, we mourn a ghost, ourselves. By the end of this video, you'll understand how one man lost everything people thought defined him, yet walked away freer than the people who held the power. If this feeling sounds familiar, you're not the first person to live through it. You are not the only one who has felt that sudden panic of losing who you are. Over 5,000 years ago, a man faced that exact same silence, not in private, but in front of an entire royal court. And his response became the ultimate masterclass on human identity. His name was Vidura. He was born into the royal Kuru lineage, yet denied the throne simply because his mother was a maidservant. He had every reason to brew bitterness. Instead, he became something far rarer, the one voice in that palace no one wanted to hear, but everyone secretly needed. For decades, he stood in the royal court, not as a courtier seeking favor, but as the conscience no one wanted to face. When greed blinded the king, he spoke. When arrogance fueled the princes, he spoke. He became the only man in that palace who couldn't be bought. And eventually, that decision would cost him everything. The crown prince, Duryodhan, crossed a line. Angered by Vidur's honesty, he stripped him of his dignity and banished him like a dog from the home he served for 30 years. Imagine watching someone erase 30 years of loyalty with a single sentence. He didn't scream. He didn't demand justice. He looked down at the bow he had carried for decades, and he set it down. Then he walked out of the palace, alone. His worth was never something that room could give him, so it wasn't something that room could take away. He didn't walk away in defeat. He walked away in freedom. You've been in that room? A meeting, a dinner, a group chat where a person with less integrity had more power and used the one thing you couldn't change about yourself against you. And you felt that exact freeze. Do I stay and make them understand? Or do I put down what I'm holding and just leave? Here's what most people miss. Vidura wasn't empty walking out of that palace. His identity was never attached to the palace to begin with. Imagine your life as a grand traditional thali, a massive silver plate teeming with color, a complete meal to satisfy your hunger and leave you completely nourished. Now, suppose one bowl, the dal, is missing. What do? You eat everything else that's already on the plate. That's exactly how identity is supposed to work. Your career is just one dish on that plate. Your status is another. Your health, your integrity, your family, your hobbies. When your sense of self is spread across a full plate like that, losing one dish is painful, but it never leaves you starving. So tonight, do this. Draw a plate on paper. Fill it with every bowl carrying your identity right now. Now, circle the one dish you're most afraid of losing. That circle isn't a weakness. It's just the dish carrying too much weight. You don't have to fix it tonight. You just have to see it. Life has a habit of clearing the table eventually. And when your plate changes, you realize a strange truth. So, before you ask, who am I without my identity? Ask yourself this first. When your plate changes, who stays seated across from you? We will untangle those bonds in the next episode. Until our next meeting, pause for a moment and take care of your heart.